told.
Yep.
I don't have anything to look up, it's the same.
You don't have
So I
a
don't have drop over, you can drop over it, that you can.
bridle, kind of a bridle.
All right, so call meeting to order at 7:02. Hi, fellas.
Yeah, there.
How you doing?
So fine, how are you?
Good.
Yes.
Glad you could be taking minutes this evening, so thank you for that.
Oh, you fellas.
All right. All right, all right, minutes of last meeting. Do you have any changes, additions, deletions, edits?
Phillips, you asked me, and I completely forgot to bring it, you needed an update on what was it, the TRC?
Yeah,
And what they were gonna do?
yeah. And you were gonna send it over to me.
I know I emailed it to you, but I didn't bring it here. Okay.
Yeah.
How do we change the minutes without
You can just
setting
say,
out on that handle?
you can just simply say that,
Make a motion to.
Yes.
or-
Yeah, I could make a motion that the minutes would be contingent on updating. What exactly was it?
it was the TRC report, the last TRC report that he sent over, what's his name?
Carl.
Thank you.
Carl.
Carl, okay, that's the one that I needed.
Okay, so
And I
I
think
think
you-
contingent on providing the June monthly TRC report.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
believe that it was sent to Mark, but
I didn't forward it.
no, and I never
You know,
got it.
and it is sent, but it's on SharePoint also, so we all can access it. But I think we need to.
So Phil's needs the June TRC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, so there's a motion to accept
so there's
the
a motion to accept the minutes with
amended TRC report he submitted.
Mary, yes?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm sorry, did anybody second that? Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye, any opposed, any abstentions? All right, so moved. Let's do it. No guests tonight, audience of citizens, no, right?
Oh, it's not, yes.
No audience of citizens.
Very different.
Very
There you
different.
go.
So they both are esteemed, we have esteemed guests and esteemed audience of citizens, so,
I feel honored either way.
well, the honor is really mine, thank you.
Well, Frank Gifford.
Yeah. Frank
For
Gifford,
the 16-year donation.
yeah, and you'll be asked to provide your phone number for our town manager if you'd like
That
to.
was a request that I had to hook you up with someone who wants to talk to you.
Sure.
If that-
You have a secret admirer.
Thank you.
Sure, it's not the first time.
Judy Preston, 5 Lakewoods Way.
Thank you. Well, both, is there any business you'd like to bring before the board tonight?
We're both board members with CLA and we know we have a lot to run.
So do I, so help me out when you can, please. Well, welcome, I'm glad you're here, and please, if you have anything to contribute, as always during the meetings, it's an open forum, so. All right. Any communications tonight? Other than the report?
I'll just tell you one thing that's disturbing.
Okay.
In the Deep magazine that
Yep.
came out,
Yep.
I highlighted a whole article on the new dangers of the spotted lanternfly.
Oh, what was
So, this is another species that kills about 8 different trees.
What's it called? Oh.
Spotted lanternfly, I just found the first one in East Haddam.
Oh,
It started in
These music.
Pennsylvania in 2012 from Asia. And it recently hit Connecticut, Farmington, and, oh, not recently, 2018, so it's been moving north. But the spotted fly is a disgusting insect because it swarms in giant masses and excretes a horrible, sticky, smelly goo that smells like rotting cantaloupe. All over everything outside, your patio, your house,
oh,
and the trees it's eating. And it's coming. So,
That,
get ready.
Does it,
spotted red tree?
Yeah, in here was the big trees it loves, I think pine trees
So
and
where can we read that?
it's up, pass it around.
Okay.
Make a copy of things I want.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, please.
Or you could Google, it's. The
Yes.
deep is really concerned that this is gonna be another giant blow to our trees.
Because you already have the ash forms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we went through gypsy wash, ash borer beetles and. Get ready for this.
Wow.
Oh,
Do we know, does it attack any specific tree?
Yeah, it has its favorites. Like
well,
the
this is from 2019.
oh, maybe I just found. Maybe I shoved it on my desk and just uncovered it. Well, it's.
I just uncovered something.
I just uncovered the first actual bug in my neighbor's yard.
Did you kill it?
He did, he showed it to me and then we squashed it.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Did it smell cantaloupe?
No,
Oh.
well, I wasn't there for the squashing.
Oh.
Oh, so this is fed deep,
Yeah.
right? Is that?
Another-
It's the Connecticut wildlife thing.
Oh, this, okay, no, okay, alright, okay,
If they-
alright, well, we'll pass that around so people can look at it. Throughout the meeting, so you had another,
Yeah, a couple of things, and I don't know how to address this or if we should address this. Apparently, there are now jet skis, obviously, on our lake, and people are putting extensions to docks to park their jet skis. Would those require a permit because we're extending the dock?
well, technically, they would be a boat lift. I mean, that's the category, or at least that's how I see it. Yeah,
Is that what?
that's how I see
Yeah,
it.
not an extension to a dock, but it's a lift,
It would
it
be,
just takes the.
So
takes the
it would
jet ski out.
require under our guidelines.
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
And I
So we
believe-
should,
make,
alert those people.
yes,
I believe the guidelines say one lift per dock.
right,
They have two,
one
water together, right?
well,
One
It
lift.
depends on who we're talking about. I've had. two
Next to wells,
Yeah, well.
next to the well, is
Yeah,
there's a double lift over there.
yeah, that's the one that
It's
was
Gates.
reported to.
No, it's not Gates, it's the
That's
one.
Gates.
Oh,
between
between
Gates
Gates
and
and
the well,
Wells.
yeah.
Another one.
Yeah,
This-
I think that's the same family.
there's a-
So Mark, did we identify who this is? Can we just provide that and have someone check in and tell them they need a wetlands and an LMAP application?
Yeah, if you get me the addresses,
Okay,
so we can send out a letter.
okay, so that's number one.
And do these lifts keep the jet ski out of the water or
Yeah.
just support it from sinking?
So.
no, they're like a ram. And they,
just right.
some of them have rollers, some, and
Just,
then
you just scoot up.
you
It's like a
scoot
dry
up
dock.
it and then,
Tie
and then tie it off and then
Actually, they're nice looking.
they can, yeah,
Yeah,
they're relatively. You know, low impact visually, cause they're low on.
Flush on the wall.
Most of them are only about 6 inches.
Not even,
Yeah,
yeah,
not, but they do have some that are,
oh, just, taller,
those rectangles, I mean, those squares that you can,
oh,
together.
yeah,
those are the only ones that are much taller.
Are they?
Those, but still are considered lift. Yes, they are.
they are, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, I believe the requirements are one lift per dock.
And there's.
Right.
But the lift can be a double lift, but they can only have one watercraft,
Really?
that's the way it's
Why would you
written.
want a double lift?
I don't
I
know.
don't
if you
think we
want
allow
one.
double lifts.
Well, if that's what you had, and you only had one jet ski, you'd be good.
They've got two jets.
How would
I know
they,
that.
how would they add?
Well, if they one time had two jet skis and have one now,
Some of them are built that way.
Oh,
yeah.
You have double ones that are built. I'm not talking about the floating ones, but I think. I would be concerned about the double ones. If you go in front of Keegan's house, they have a double jet ski lift. There's no jet skis on it, but it's there and it's one lift, but it's a double. So you can buy it.
it's two, it's a two.
Exactly. The point being, though, we always are concerned about what's parked next to a dock. Is it gonna be an 8 foot wide, whatever, if it becomes 16 feet wide, then it could be impeding into that 20 foot, 25 foot setback.
Well, yeah, but
Right.
these things, at least the double, the ones I've seen. and you know,
Yeah.
I haven't seen every one on the planet, but the ones I've seen, a double jet ski lift is about the width of a single boat lift. Does that seem about right?
Yeah.
Approximately right, but it would encourage two jet skis.
Right,
Oh,
Then
it's-
it becomes an enforcement issue,
right.
alright, so wouldn't it be better to say, okay, yes, you're allowed one lift, which is one jet ski wide. For these dry docks or whatever they're called.
Well, this is one that he's got there.
Yeah, it's always one
lift,
lift.
Okay,
But.
He's got,
I
it.
haven't seen it.
Is
The other-
I haven't read
It is written down.
Okay.
but the other thing is, and if I'm correct, and I don't know, we should take a look at it again. Their pontoon boat goes into almost shore on the stone wall, so I don't think they have a dock there.
location.
No, it's
It's the other key.
no, it's here.
No.
I'm not talking Keegan, I'm talking.
Oh, there.
By
By
Woody
the
Terrace
camp.
and that by the camp. I don't think they actually have a dock. It's just.
Kind of
full
like-
of-
So we have to do a site visit of
Yeah.
some sort, so we'll alert them.
Yeah, I think the note, so A, we need to know what the addresses are of where this one or multiple are.
Maybe another one.
We'll get them to Mark, notice will be made, right, and then at that point on the application, we can
Right.
then assess
Make
what it
those-
is.
Right. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Connecticut Federation of Lake. We are not a member,
Really?
and, the CLA is, but the town or LMAC is not. They've had kind of a wake-up call and a revision. They have clearly become now a voice for, all the right things in terms of protecting the lakes and rivers and waterways of Connecticut. And they've reached out and asked for one of two things. Number one, join us. And their number, if you go on their website, lake associations or protective associations, Banham, Bashan, Bolton, Campbellwood, Crystal, you can just go down the whole Gardner, Highland, that have joined. Is that something that we should consider? as
What's
LMAC?
the cost?
It can be anything from $20 to $150 for anything. $20 to
Yeah.
$150.
Yeah, so that's a no brainer.
Yeah, I'd like to recommend that on behalf of the town, LMAC become,
Yes,
and that we become a partner.
please.
There's so much to learn, I think, with everything that's going on in our lakes and rivers lately. So
Yeah.
that's number one. Number two, they've asked for people who might be interested in participating on workshops. And or study groups. One is on septic tanks and one is on wakeboards. I don't know if anyone is, wake boats, excuse me. I don't know if anyone is interested. I signed up for the septic just because we're learning about our own system here at the lake and what's going on and what's good and bad. Hopefully all is good with our septic system, so I signed up for that one. So I can send around
Yeah, please do.
announcement if anybody's
Yeah.
interested. That's update number two. Update number three, I wish Henry was here, Henry would remember this. 3 years ago, we spoke and asked the Department of Public Works to ensure that they did not cut back or mow from Erdoney Road Beach to Erdoney Road Dike. It's a natural erosion protector. It protects when it's cut back, which they cut it right to the ground this year on the lakeside. It goes into the lake. We are adding phosphorus to our lake. They just let everything go in. We collected a fair amount at Erdoney Road Beach. But we're asking all of our partners, lake residents, watershed residents to do things. And I just would like to suggest a motion that we work with the DPW and so they understand why we want this done to protect the lake. And it's also a natural barrier for geese, because now the geese, since they're off all our properties lately, are wandering over there and going across the street. But not only did they totally clear cut from Erdoney Road Beach to Erdoney Road Drive, they also clear cut across the street, which was nesting for ducks, and the one nest was totally destroyed. this is, you know, part of our environment, our lake ecosystem. We should be in partnership with the DPW, and they should know, they should not be cutting back on cattails, especially where the ducks were nesting. So I would just like to suggest a motion from LMAC that we coordinate and work. And 3 years ago, we agreed to do this, and this is the 3rd year where it's been cut again.
And we're having just, I don't know if we had this in writing as a written policy request, but we're having turnover in the public works department, so you pop on a new public works and just tell them, go cut the roadside.
Mhm.
They're not gonna know the folklore of our request. It might be passed down from Andy Andrews, who's no longer our foreman.
Okay.
So
I
I just,
had asked back at the beginning of July to ensure that they did not. cut
you
back.
talked about specifically, okay, then that, my excuse doesn't hopefully.
So if, just in partnership, if we need to send them a reminder every year, but
Well, I think probably it'd be helpful. Kind of like a do's and don'ts around the lake, because there's a lot of idiosyncrasies that are different around the lake than the rest of the town.
I've never seen them cut back the cattails. And when I looked, and there was a duck nest in there, and it's no longer there. And hopefully the little ones
So
hatched
you
and escaped.
have a motion, Mary, that you want to coordinate with DPW not to clear cut today?
Not to clear cut from Rodoni Road Beach to Rodoni Road Dike. It's a
On either
natural
side of the street.
erosion protector
On both sides of the street.
on both sides of the street.
Mhm.
I weed whack on the other side, so we can walk our dogs.
We could put some little signage up there too. Just to, if,
Mhm.
to the point, Mark, if there's somebody new sent out, I mean, if they don't get the memo. You can put a sign.
No, no, cut the sound, but look how beautiful that is. It always awfully, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, both. Well, I guess the motion would, I guess. Start with coordination with DPW and then we can figure out the
What
signage, protocol, whatever. So does anybody wanna make a motion?
Motion that we work with the town administrator and Department of Public Works to develop what is it, or to
No
Written protocol.
written protocol.
written protocol to ensure when mowing that we protect the lake ecosystem. Because then it could go beyond one, because they own other property on the lake.
Okay, do I have a second? Second. Is that conflict of interest? I'm sorry.
Proud of it.
Any further discussion?
Is it limited to grass cutting? Or is it, or could it be potentially other things around the lake that affect the ecosystem as well?
It could be, there are some swales
Yeah.
that desperately need to be updated, I mean.
I'm just thinking the motion would say
Well, I think the motion is pretty general
Yeah.
in coordinations.
specific to grass.
No,
Just a written protocol.
Just protocols,
System.
Relative to
maintenance,
how to manage the lake ecosystem.
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
lake perimeter, lakeside maintenance.
Do you have something in mind, Bob?
No, I just think in general, I like the sign as well, so there could be
Yeah.
various signs
Sounds
for
good.
different issues here.
No, plans.
Almost.
They own some property on Route 87, I don't know if they mow it or what.
We have to mow, I guess. We'd like to.
Okay. So I think
Yeah.
the general consensus is that and Mary, if you can write, just write this up while Phyllis has it here.
Right enough.
But
Yeah.
I'll remember.
yeah, but either way,
Years.
the idea here, the spirit of it is to keep it general in the
Written protocols.
the protocols. Maintenance protocols, I guess we'll call them, right?
Yeah.
Maintenance protocols. Lakeside maintenance protocols.
That sounds good.
And then, okay, so. Mary, you'll write the final motion and then we'll include that in the minutes.
Yeah.
Those, okay.
Just quickly, I did find, Phyllis, what you need for TRC. It was an open purchase order.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
but let's finish this. So, any other further discussion?
Sorry.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? So moved.
Yes.
Phyllis, just as a note, can you please put the jet ski boat lift review in new business, please?
Yes.
And the Connecticut Federation of Lakes membership and workshops also in new business,
Yep.
please. And then the Ordoni roadside mowing will be a motion. Okay. Any other communications?
Sorry, but I found the sentence that Bill's needs for TRC.
So I don't need to report,
No, should have listened.
my 4 to-dos are down to 3 now for less.
And I have 1.5.
Very nice. All right, okay, moving on, permit review, where are we at with permits?
The subcommittee did approve of the moving of a raft from over towards the dam to the Mulligan's property on Newford. Thank you for your quick responses, Bob and Jim. This came up quite quickly. That Mark sent to me last Thursday, was it? Friday. And I did do a site, I measured everything, it's well within the setbacks of 25 feet, it's gonna be 75 to 100, no, no more than 75, actually, they thought it would be closer to the shoreline. And it's within a few feet of the center line, they wanted it kind of angled past a set of stairs they had at the center line. So all's good.
Now, should that go next to Board of Selectmen to just codify that in a public meeting?
Yeah, usually I send a
Yeah,
note,
usually you send me a write-up and they just approve it and it's in the minutes.
right,
If anybody ever was searched.
it's administrative approval.
Right, based on
only-
administrative. approval.
Yeah, there's a second permit, there has been some work done without a permit, at 4 Sunny Slopes. The Armstrong property, and, we have, LMAC got the, permit yesterday. Wetlands got the permit also last week. Wetlands is conducting the site visit. And I will be on that site visit on August 18th. So anything that Wetlands recommends, because this was without permit, I will advise LMAC at the next meeting. I mean, we don't have enforcement power. Wetlands has enforcement power, so if they choose to do anything, I'll apprise them that.
I noticed the applications are lacking information. There wasn't really anything there other than, I got a hole in my lawn. But the application is specific to a seawall repair.
Correct.
So what's the hole in his lawn have anything to do? I mean, I know
He
what a
did
hole in
work-
the wall has to do with a seawall. But there's no sketch, there's no diagram. Should we get to the point where we ought to revise the form and say if we don't receive these things, it's gonna be sent back to the applicant?
That would be a very good suggestion, I
I
know.
do have the draft that I put together.
So,
I forgot it on my workbench, but. But specifically says that, give us a sketch A, B, and C. And then if you don't provide these in the initial submittal,
Savannah
then
Kid
we'll send it back to the applicant for more information.
advocated that for LBAC. Savannah had some similar issues, that's why Wetlands is doing a site visit. And she looked at, I think, an old GPS and a new GIS, whatever you call that stuff. Technically, I'm not that good at this stuff, and she could see where changes count. And,
Yeah, you
anyone
can,
who wants
you
to
can look
at
at,
it.
you can look at GIS maps 10 years previous
Okay,
to the current. Which is
so I believe
23
she
and
did
20.
that. So
You know,
she's
you do
aware.
An aerial view before and after.
I haven't seen
Very
them,
cool.
I haven't been on the
Yeah.
property, but she's aware of the changes. I will tell you that Wetlands is looking to, speaking of protocols, be a little stronger and develop a protocol or a flow sheet in terms of what enforcement looks like. It's one thing to get a warning letter, it's another thing to expand that, and they may be asking for a town ordinance to expand that to fines. It's in a committee like that, it's nothing.
So the draft that I have, I'll send it out for circulation, maybe you can present it to the next meeting and talk about it and maybe.
Please do.
Yeah.
Welcome, thank you.
Right.
And Mary, on the application, our next board select meeting is August 19th. So 2 weeks from this,
For the,
for that approval, so
uh,
letter got to us within.
for the administrative.
Right.
Okay,
That'd be fine.
mulligans, okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
So we'll leave that in new business.
We'll just add it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. All right, anything else on permit review?
Mhm.
Forget mine. Oh, yes, he has one. Yes, he has a permit review for.
So you guys have reviewed it.
I just reviewed the submittal, it's to move the boat lift from one side to the other.
No.
No,
It's a different boulder.
oh, different boat lift, it's a new boat, you're right, you're right, your boat lift's going, the new boat lift is bigger, and then you're adding your canopy over the top,
Yes.
okay.
When you
So-
want this done?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get ahead of the game here, so we're shooting for this, the drawdown.
Oh, so it'll be at the drive,
Oh,
okay, because I didn't even open the file.
No, this is all the drawdown. Drawdown.
Yeah, it looks like it's, you know, potentially would be accepted, but what's the canopy involved? Is it
It's just
is it part of the boat lift? itself?
yes.
So it's a boat lift with a canopy.
It's material, it's not, nothing that's constructed.
So it takes the place of a wooden canopy that would you typically do for a speedboat that's in the norm.
Yeah, there's a few around.
On the lake,
Henry's?
Espositos.
No, not Henry's, I think.
Mine's a wood.
Mike, do you have a can, I know there's a neighbor of yours that has.
Oh, well, yeah.
First one's too big, though.
So the
Yeah,
canopy would be
Yeah.
allowed as long as it meets the requirements of the wooden structure.
No, there's a size limitation.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Are there?
Yeah, it's pretty much a height restriction.
That's also a length restriction.
Oh, is there? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
We ran into that with your
you're right.
next, not your
Esposito.
neighbor, but your Esposito.
Esposito, yeah. That's right. I
So
forgot
there
about
is a
that.
size limitation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So we'll have
As
to
well,
do a
okay.
site visit anyway,
Yeah.
all that.
yeah, I didn't check down there. Didn't have any dimensions in there, how high it would be
Well,
on.
Send it back, send it back.
Send it back.
Those things cost quite a bit of money, so I did purchase it yet, if I can get it approved.
Excuse me.
So it's not like there's, I've got a couple estimated, but
Yeah, it'd be nice to see the height from either from the dock height or from the
yeah.
pontoon boat.
The requirement is 8 feet.
Mike, are
off
you
of the-
familiar with the construction guys?
That's just
Right in
Yeah.
there.
Here's the guy.
yes, I leave.
If there's any variance or anything,
I
I'll
don't
do a
trust
site
him
visit.
anymore. I would
The only,
suggest it
the only
really-
issue I do have is that, I know it has to be 15 feet from the neighbors.
Yeah,
If I go 10 feet, which most of those are,
they are.
it's gonna be 11 feet from the neighbors. Now, it also says that we can get a variance with the approval of my neighbor.
Neighbor.
And I don't think
The
that's.
neighbor has to weigh
Yeah.
in on.
So I'd be willing to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would suggest you just go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Yeah, you should
and
check
and
it
the
out.
height thing,
I'll get all the measurements
yeah,
of the one I'm looking at and,
and if your boat has, you know, a top.
Yeah.
Then unlikely that you'll get a canopy
Yeah.
that'll fit it once the boat is up and out of the road, I mean, that's why.
Oh,
Our boat doesn't have.
Yeah,
we
you
have
have
a
the
tower.
bimini, you have the biminis.
Yeah, we have a bimini or a tower or whatever.
so it's a 9-foot height.
You can see.
Fixed.
Six above sidewalk.
Yeah, so. Oh, is that?
No.
Believe it's 8.
It's 6.
Look at the regular. I know when I don't mind it was 8.
I'll look at all of that stuff.
Either way,
That's good.
point being is it's relatively low.
Yeah, mine's a wooden one, so.
How about if I just look at all of that, and I reapply it?
Yeah.
I put all the measurements in, I'll outline.
Yeah, so you just have. Sometimes.
He's just gonna resubmit, right? Okay.
But we do have time.
Yeah.
Thank you
That's
for
why I'm
doing
here
it
now.
early.
But, yeah, and I'll get
Feedback's
the
good.
approval from my neighbor ahead of time as well.
Yeah, that's a biggie, talk for that.
All right,
So I have a second one.
oh, I'm
So
sorry.
there's two, permits. Did you see the other one?
Yes.
No,
This is for my dock, so the ice pushed my dock to the left. And, I'd like to push it back to the right. So it's gonna involve like the poster in the ground. My front two legs. And I need to excavate that, dig it out, move it over to fill it in on the other side.
Yeah. Are they tilting post now?
Well, my dock, instead of going straight, and we go straight, then to the left.
That's.
Where are the posts stand? Just
Look
the
at,
bare
that's
ground?
typical.
Where the posts from the bare
I
ground?
believe there are, I don't know if
There's
there's some
cement
cement
covered.
block underneath,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's any cement, it may be sitting on block down there, I'm not sure.
So
So
those
is it
get
not-
excavated out, and then what's the new installation?
Same thing, it's gonna be whatever it was, it's just gonna be moved over.
Yeah, if it's just a repair, that's really what comes down to repair.
I'm not adding any.
Right, you're not doing length or width or anything like that,
No.
you just make,
Well,
bring
we'll
it back
do-
to,
we'll do a site.
Yeah.
visit.
yeah.
We,
And those are pretty straightforward, yeah.
Yeah, we had plenty of water. Okay.
All right,
thank you, Mark.
all right.
There are other options besides excavating for your posts.
What else?
Well, that's where I was going with
There's
that.
plastic feet
I saw.
Yeah.
that you can put your post on, which doesn't require any excavation, so. I know some people have done that in this later.
Yeah, I've
Our
done.
neighbors did.
But then I would have to cut, I would have to cut those legs at the base level, right? Then move over the dock and then.
Or you're gonna move the leg, well, I don't wanna get into means and methods.
Yeah, let's,
I'm just saying there are other ways, there's other alternatives
Listen to
instead of
me,
excavation.
I just want it straight.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, any other permits?
Oh, while we're talking about permits and talking about, jet skis, there's another lift. Up on Donny Road, on, Lake Road or Donny Road area there.
Yeah,
In the code.
It's a new lift, I haven't seen it before, so I don't know if it's planted or
I
not.
saw it tonight.
Yeah, that's.
It's a small, it's one of the thinner ones.
It's a roll.
It's a roll on, it's about 4 or 6 inches tall, but you know, it's made to keep the jet ski right out of the water, it's still considered lift.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's a small one, I gotta say, some of those are wide where you can walk around them, this one's just wide enough, but it's.
We may have to look at our guidelines.
Yeah, we gotta look at
Lift, sure.
We see it in line with it, it's just that.
Lift is
Matter
lift.
of size. You know what the address is? Near your house, Frank?
Yeah,
No,
So I think it's
It's towards Lake Road from your house.
Is it Gustafson's or next to Gustafson's?
next to go.
I think it's hard socks.
Yeah, probably Hartselle.
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah. I'll look at it.
okay.
We'll have to ask for them to apply for a permit and I'll give that to
I
Mark.
think that's all he's got there, so I don't. Shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, it looks okay, just.
Yeah, and that's the only thing there, it doesn't, you know, he just needs to put a permanent in, so that.
And
That's
also,
you.
there's all, you know, the long dock in 87. Long, big, long.
Concrete.
dock, yeah.
Yeah.
They
That's
built
okay.
a T at the end
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Above that.
Oh, we approved it
Okay.
finally.
I just.
It was approved
Didn't, I
finally.
didn't see it.
First, they put the dock in illegally, then they put the dock in, with too much length, and then they took the section out and made.
Oh, no, that's that.
Oh, Mary, that's another one.
It's,
Yeah,
it's that big cement dock off of 87.
right, they have a huge cement dock.
No. It
No,
was
no.
the Mike Steinberg property.
I'm sorry.
It's where the little cove is, Mary. It's where the cove is.
Yes, where there's like.
We're
big
down,
property.
Shawna used to live across the street.
Yeah, he built that little T extension, yeah, little T extension.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, actually, I questioned that too, but that was over a year and a half ago, yeah, it's been that long.
Seeing it now.
Because I didn't see it come across all that either,
Yeah.
but I never brought it up.
Near the wall that got painted blue, if you go past that,
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad.
it's,
Yeah.
this is the right
The
of
one
way
that permitted or
the
not?
houses.
You don't think it was forbidden? You don't think so?
And it's a concrete like the rest of them?
No, it's not.
It's a wood structure,
Oh.
T shaped as a T to the.
Is that the same one that we gave the approval for the property to the young man who has a disability?
Yes.
T word.
I don't know.
Yeah, we put patio.
That.
Patio, yeah.
It's the same thing.
property.
That could be the reason that they put the T on, because they need to put them out on the boat. and he was in a wheelchair, I'll bet you that's.
I think there's a pontoon that's parked in.
Well,
Yeah.
either way,
Well, let's find out,
Yeah.
and let's ensure that people understand permits.
Yeah,
okay,
Go on.
planning and zoning coordination.
Would you like to talk about this one? Yeah.
No.
I have the hand. Mike received an email about 1 week before the planning and zoning meeting, which was on July 25th. I was copied because I'm on wetlands. Mike and I worked out that we needed to get a draft from Lake Management for, because at that planning and zoning meeting, and only that meeting, they were going to talk about and wanted input on Columbia Lake for the 10-year plan. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, conservation and development plan,
Plan of conservation,
plan conservation.
which by law has to be updated every 2 years.
Mike asked me to put together and answer their questions. Their questions were, what are the wins, what are the losses, and what's the future? This is a draft. I would love you to review it and give more information or less. We can cut this down. In terms of what the victories from the last 10 years were, which would be 2015 or 16 to 2026. The first page focused on the wins, the last page focused on, what were the losses or the issues? And what are our concerns for the future and goals and hopes? So I threw this together. Planning and zoning came back and asked for more detail on phosphorus and the phosphorus load. I would recommend we work with TRC and have them help us develop what's happening in the lake. And therefore, why this is a loss and why this is a concern. So people who are laypersons can understand that the load in the lake is starting to cause issues, whether it's nuisance native plants, algae patches, which, not gonna wood, we haven't seen much this year. We saw some early in June, but Mike, I don't know how you wanna move forward to make the draft of the document. As I said, this was just thrown together and Muffy represented the CLA, I represented LMAC and attended that meeting. And their feedback was, okay, thanks for this, give us more information on phosphorus losses. Would you characterize it that way?
Because, well, I guess, we just wanted to have everybody's feedback on this, if there's any, edits. Can share them now, or if they're directly with Mary, and we can take a look at it, the final.
I can send this out as an email tomorrow.
Right, but we can't all comment it on it together, that's what I was saying.
Oh,
If anybody has any feedback, they should send it to you directly,
okay,
and then any final edits you and I can figure out
okay.
at the end, we can't get into a group conversation or via email.
Don't those final edits and final document help you vote on? Or it can be,
Say yes,
don't they have to be voted on by this board? Or this committee?
I would think so.
Yeah, and when is this due?
Or what does this do?
I think you have time.
We have time.
Okay, so well then why don't, anybody who has any feedback for this, please send it to Mary. We can review any edits at the next meeting and then vote on it. Does that sound fair?
Just a question on this, is the planning and zoning board trying to get a better understanding of phosphorus in general?
I
The
think
impact of phosphorus in general?
the chairman of P and Z was the one that asked for additional information. And I think what he wants is to help us present a stronger case for future action in the lake.
Correct.
I don't, it is a lot of work, it's a big ask, but I think it's a positive ask. Initially, I was a little reluctant to kind of agree with that, but thinking about it more, I think it's an important thing to add, so that if in the future we need to suggest that the town allocate more money for phosphorus, whatever. I think the more information we can put in the plan of conservation development, the better we are
It'll also help with grants.
with grants. So
With
not
land
that we
conservation
want,
development.
not that we want any state grants.
So I know we're not gonna discuss it, but. You know, how is it happening? Why is it increasing? Ways to reduce it and costs to reduce it, and give you some more information and ideas around it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Awesome.
got it.
But
He gave an example, and his example was. In the watershed management plan in 1998, we went to the low hanging fruit and we've done the job with nutrient allocation. Equate nutrient allocation and what that's done, and I'm just looking at going.
Yeah,
oh,
right, that's true.
You know, but
Yeah, I remember filling out that new nutrient allocation
Yeah.
form when I put the house.
You have Savannah that can help you with that too.
And I think Savannah with TRC can put that together.
But also, as we talk about phosphorus, we understand that it's kind of hangs out at the bottom of the lake.
Right.
And so now that it's kind of hanging out there, how can we mitigate that? Or what are the ways to reduce that during the drawdowns? Or optimize that
Sure.
and reduce it during the drawdowns, maybe from the bottom versus the top?
I just had a conversation with Walt Haber, and he said he'd be willing to help construct a device like Armstrong talked about, a siphon out of PVC that could do that. So you've got Mike Armstrong volunteering and Walt Haber both.
But I think on that particular topic, didn't TRC say that had diminishing returns? It was.
Yeah, the size of the,
2%
based on the size of the lake.
Based
Well,
on
yeah,
the
it's gonna take
size.
6 years to draw the lake down or.
But there was a
some
good point
crazy
made.
number.
There was a good point made at planning and zoning when we discussed that, because that pipe came up again. And it was, okay, you're at 202 kilograms per year, your phosphorus load tipping point or inflection point of significant change is 248. We've been kind of at 198, 200, 202 over the past 5 years. Let's see what this year brings. But what he said, but I think it was Justin Rondeau said it, was if you're only going up 2 kilograms a year, then a pipe like that would have more than less impact. So, I'm gonna run that by TRC, because then, you know, we should be saying it's part of the solution, it's not the whole solution.
Well, in other words, if you're taking out more than you're adding, that you're netting out in a better place.
And we can stay at 202,
Right.
or maybe reduce.
And one of the reasons over the last 5 years,
Yeah, you
sort of
reduced
staying
it.
where it is, because of the nutrient allocation.
Exactly,
That's actually working.
exactly.
Yeah.
That, and we just need to provide data, and I think TRC is gonna have to do it for us.
But this is also a good place to say, I think it's later on the agenda, that getting at that update, the 1998 watershed management plan is right for this now. Especially because of this ongoing process of planning and zoning.
So at the next planning and zoning meeting, I could, if you're not there, I could say that we'll be ready to submit something by September. Updated our plan.
Well, we need to meet first in September and then.
That's what I'm saying. We'll meet.
Yeah, so I'd say mid to late, and we're at,
I mean, if you're not there, I can certainly present that.
even by end of September. They're not gonna write this plan,
There is a timeline that John's put together, but
there is.
it keeps going,
On the,
it keeps going. Yeah, it seems to me if we can incrementally do with a pipe, even if it doesn't take a ton of, how does that hurt anything? It only helps.
Right.
I mean, and every little bit helps, that's what I'm saying, because maybe then we come up with another idea, so, you know, beyond the nutrient allocation, that takes out a little bit also. As long as people don't misunderstand and think this is the panacea of our
Now
problem.
we can realize that.
Then we can forget everything else, right, this is the danger.
and that's pretty much what Carl said in his December presentation. This'll help, but that's not the only thing you can do.
Right.
Yeah, so. Okay, so I'll wait for feedback. I'll work with TRC to get an update relative to phosphorus nutrient allocation, those types of things. You mentioned 4 big things.
Yeah, it almost seems like we need something in front of that paragraph, this paragraph, to say, where is it all coming from?
Okay.
Over the years, so where is this historically come from? How is it, how is the nutrient allocation worksheet impacted our results, right? Through the good acts of people, improving their property by 10% to reduce the overall acid rain runoff into the
I
lakes.
mean, that might,
I think also,
that's got big distance.
No, I know, it's a big ask, but
put the catch.
we're not doing it for nothing, so there's gotta be some kind of tangible benefit from it, even if we pull it out of the sky. It has to, right? I mean, I don't know,
Well,
just.
indirectly, and Rick mentioned this, Cortman has said. Before, when we had Dr. Cortman, the phosphorus was pretty steady. And he felt it was because of nutrient allocation. I don't know if there's a direct
How do you quantify?
cause of,
That's
cause
his
of.
opinion.
I think things.
Gotta have. It's gotta have.
Didn't hurt.
No, if you look at the analysis,
Sure.
yeah,
I mean, when I built my house in 16, I had to do the nutrient allocation sheet. All my gutters had to go into a separate holding tank in the ground in stone. And then I had to put a swale up where the house tops off towards the public beach. There's another $10,000 worth of stone. But those small little incremental improvements
Yeah.
have to have some kind of benefit over acid rain
Over-
pouring into the lake. If you're in the watershed, I'm not on the lake, I'm right behind them.
Right.
So I'm just saying that times how many homes on the lake, there's gotta be some kind of incremental number that we can.
And I think you make,
Assume,
but you make a good point that it's not just lakefront properties, it's the watershed.
It's the watershed.
You've gotta really.
focus on the watershed, not the waterfront.
yeah, I mean, maybe that's gotta be. As part of it.
I think that and the catch basins,
And the other thing is
not
plants.
just the catch basins, because we know they represent
Yes.
50% of the influx of the phosphorus.
I've seen properties on the lake that have gotten to work on their gardens, and the garden drains are feeding the lake.
That was years ago.
No, it
Yeah.
still happens.
It's still happening?
That's
I've
interesting,
got,
because that would be our
I've
purview,
got one adjacent to me, but
that would be our purview, because we do walls.
no, it wasn't a wall, it was back landscaping that is now
A drainage.
Oh, just surface drainage.
drainage, just surface.
Oh.
Groundwater drainage.
Groundwater, I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, the plantings, if you put the plantings in front of the groundwater drains, that's gonna help. Because the plants absorb a lot of phosphorus.
I'll have to bring that up at a different.
Yeah.
Very well.
So, yeah,
Even better than trees.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'd be willing to add to this, but I don't have the knowledge base to really understand how it built up over the years. Yeah.
However, I think if TRC gives us a draft,
Yeah, they can,
then we can.
Yeah, I'll incorporate.
Yeah.
Their nonetheless.
yeah, ask them the words, don't go crazy, and page.
Oh, absolutely not.
Never lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and easily being mindful budget.
They put it into AI and they.
All of a sudden that is.
Yeah.
Don't this down.
Yeah, but just, hey, by the way, is this an hour or is this 10?
It is doing.
Well, then, yeah.
Interest.
Make this interesting. But an hour.
I want 2 hours and what's that?
We want the executive summary.
I don't want you to review everything since.
Don't tell me the
1970.
minutia.
Yeah, and just to give them a sense of scope and budget, so. Okay. Dam status.
Sorry, before you go on, Matt, I've been on planning and zoning for 13 years now and was, going to put myself up for reelection in November, but, the Republican Party has decided to go another direction, so I will not be on the ballot. Because I've been here for 18 years, so I've always been sort of the coordinator between here and planning and zoning. What I suggest is that someone needs to monitor what's going on in future planning and zoning meetings. There are some current planning and zoning members who probably will be reelected who are in the process of changing and in some extent eliminating some of the current regulations in planning and zoning that potentially could affect the watershed and the lakefront. The example would be the last go around, we had with planning and zoning, and that compromise we came to. You know, eliminating all the restrictions for poultry, you know, that type of thing. And not really thinking it through, thinking about the lakefront or the watershed. So I think somewhere along the line, someone from this group needs to be aware of what's going on in planning and zoning. And be more proactive than reactive, because what will happen is these regulations will get revised, there will be a public hearing. The people that wanna make these changes, in my estimation, will be in the majority during the next election cycle, so. It's
So there
gonna-
needs to be a liaison.
There needs to be a liaison who will
Right.
highlight some of the things that may affect the lake and the watershed, and then call to everyone's attention so that at the public hearing, you can go and testify pro or con. Which is what happened last time.
Is there any,
We all knew what was going on.
that's
Sure.
similar to, I feel I'm a liaison to wetlands.
Right.
Cause I'm
Exactly.
on IW, so we need someone. who-
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was just gonna ask you about, will there be anyone left on planning and zoning who lives on the lake? Cause you did, Rick Nassif used to, now, but Rick doesn't anymore and.
I think NASA is the only one that's close to the lake.
Walt Taper.
Oh,
Well,
Well,
his
they have
wife has,
property.
his wife has a house.
Oh, Dave. Wolfrock.
Is he on the lake?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, okay.
okay.
So there may be, are they up for election?
I don't think Walt is. I'm not sure about Dave.
Anyway, your point's well taken, we should be
Point is,
monitoring.
keep your eyes open, eyes and ears open, is what I'm saying.
Well, wasn't David one, yeah, Dave was at one of our meetings for, when we were over at the senior center, remember, Mary?
Yeah, he did come.
Yeah, so he was the liaison.
I mean, Rick did come and ask that we have a better partnership.
Yeah.
I just think we need to,
And it worked, and I was.
Stay on top of Dave. As our liaison.
well, I think someone from Almac should also be in touch with Dave somehow.
Let me be more specific, I think somebody on that should be attending every single planning zoning meeting. And it doesn't have to be the same person every month, is it monthly, Bob, that they meet?
Every 2
Every
weeks,
2 weeks.
second
Yeah.
and fourth.
It's a Zoom.
But you could look at the agenda and see if there's
We could
anything.
look at the
Yeah.
agenda, that's a good
Coming up.
point, where, but we should try to be monitoring, and those meetings are recorded and published.
Yeah, well, as well as on Zoom.
And
I'm sorry, so is Rick Nassif still on the board?
He's
Yeah.
chairman of the board.
Right, but I mean, he had all, he
He's
had
up for
all,
reelection.
okay, but he was the one that expressed interest in keeping communications open.
Absolutely,
Correct.
absolutely.
So wouldn't he be the one if there was something that affected the lake that he would let us know, or?
He could, but if he's reelected, he's up for reelection in November. And he will be up for reelection as the board chair in January.
Okay. Well, we can keep this as a new business item, I guess, to monitor what the new leadership at planning is, or again, you can just stay in a committee report for right now, and we'll just
Yeah.
keep an eye on it.
Yeah, planning zone coordination. Just figure it out.
And leave it, we'll just leave it right
Well,
there.
for a period of time, you're still our liaison.
There'll be elections.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
and I guess we would ask that if you're not gonna continue,
I
then
can't continue, I'm not on the ballot.
yeah, okay, well, that's, okay, so when you leave, ask. Planning and zoning if there's anybody that would also wanna be a liaison to us. So it's reciprocal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On dam status, we did have a dam inspection last Thursday.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
biannual requirement, and I haven't gotten a report.
okay,
That just happened.
all right, so we'll wait for the report and take a look at it next month. Dam emergency plan,
Nothing's changed, it's still the same plan. Been through.
right? And water quality,
All is good from the June report from TRC. The water level was minus one, what's today, Wednesday, Monday. And the threat of inches and flooding of rain became a 0.06 inch rain, which did nothing. So,
Started out at 3 to 5.
yeah,
Or.
I don't know.
Does anyone notice the water's clear?
Yes.
It is clear as bell.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Very-
yeah, an observation, but I noticed the last week, it's just beautiful. You can see up, down,
Way down.
you can see way down.
The section, I think, took us
Except for
to
Jimmy's house.
10 or 11 feet.
real,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very
it's so clear. Great news for water clarity. Sunshine getting to the phosphorus is not the best of news. I think we're seeing it.
Wildfires in Manitoba are really helping us now.
Yes.
This is.
Maybe,
Yeah.
I wish we could
Perfect.
get a little bit more rain. But anyways, you're right.
Yeah, that's.
Water clarity has been great. The phosphorus levels have been consistent. There's nothing surface off this, you know, when they just do the 5 takes. It's the sediment, it's the phosphorus in the sediment we have to worry about, so. They're gonna do the sediment catch TRC, August 12th. They're doing plant mapping August 12th, and they're doing for the first time ever. I don't know this word.
Bathymetric.
Bathymetric measurement, thank you, measurements, so we will be able to know in 200 spots around our lake. What exactly the depth of the water is, and then we'll get, what do they call? The average depth, et cetera, so we'll have a report. This is the first time done on our lake
Mary?
that I'm.
Yeah. But does that, that on it?
Where'd you get that?
It came with the thing, yeah, the thing you filed. It was, so is that what they're gonna take the?
First, it's just, oh, that's it, yeah, I printed it out just before we, TRC just sent me that back.
That's what they're saying.
Those dots,
You're not supposed to have.
those dots.
Yeah, you know what,
are exactly.
we're gonna have to kill you. Material, I'm really sorry about that.
Trevor saw that.
Jimmy, I'm looking at the map going.
I make copies, I go away, they're sent out to everybody.
I've got an envelope and all.
Exactly.
Ready to go.
Ready to be mailed.
Feel free to share that. Anyways, there are 200 dots, that's where they're measured. And then they, this whole. Yeah, yes, yes.
Is this being recorded?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Mary, how do they measure? How do they measure?
They use a depth finder, they use a GIS and they go to each dot and.
In a boat?
In a boat, yeah,
Calm day.
yeah.
On the
Yeah.
each dot.
There's a GIS guy and he enters all the data and so. So
It's 2 guys with oars.
So this is all happening August 12th.
All
That'll
right.
help us with our water quality and.
In the areas where it's really dense, that damn weeds doesn't affect it, they can go through it.
Plant should.
Yeah, you can go through.
Top secret.
Yeah.
Target.
As far as we know.
Someone else on your tour tonight told me.
I'm ready for one.
Just I'm sorry.
Sorry, I had a question. I'm about 10 minutes late, but I think there was mention of a dam emergency plan.
Yes.
Is there an equivalent of like an invasive species emergency plan, like if there's an identified emergent, species, do we know how to go into act?
Call Mary.
City business.
Yeah, that is, segue.
Yeah.
Early, here we go, it's in open business right now, and it's one of the things that we're gonna be talking about.
Yes. Anston Lake, is ahead of us, and, I've gotten a report, and it's called Early Detection and Rapid Response to Aquatic Invasive Species. And, they gave us a huge PowerPoint. Slide as to what they did, how to be ready for permitting, et cetera, et cetera. So, I actually put it in the draft of the thing to plan, and I think it's in the draft, so that we have an emergency response plan when we do that.
You should test it out on all those stupid weeds that are invasive. See how it works.
I might have put it in there for that too.
These are not that same.
I'm getting more phone calls, I'm going over to more
Thicker and
towns.
thicker.
I asked TRC to please, ensure that they were, go, in specific areas. To understand the abundance, it's not just where it's at, it's now, I think, becoming more abundant in
Yeah.
terms of volume.
Oh, it's getting much thicker than
Yeah.
it was last year.
And the issue is if you pull it out, it'll even become worse.
You know, I know they did, they offered a test on it. People did it before July, they could go cut it.
Right.
Do you know if a lot of people did that?
6 people.
I think we had 6 people do it. Savannah Kitchen hasn't, who's a wetlands agent, hasn't given us a report. But
We won't know it next year anyhow.
I think there's enough. And again, we have to remember, unfortunately, you know, yes, you can remove the plants in May and June. May and June don't have the turions, the seeds, so they won't spread theoretically. What we have to be careful of is, this is temporary. It's still probably gonna grow back unless you did a damn good job getting every part of that root out. And raking and open water, I don't think we're gonna.
So there's a couple of, are we on that subject now? I don't know.
We're a little.
Sorry,
Is there a better start? So should we continue?
Might as well.
Okay, yes, my understanding that there were 6 people that did the,
Correct,
trial period that was supposed to be between July 1 and July 15.
correct.
My next door neighbor last week was raking, 2.5 weeks after the deadline,
After he was told,
after he was told not to, he still did. The problem was that the wind was blowing from his dock to my dock, so I ended up taking 55-gallon drum barrel full of his stuff out of my lakeside. So part of the protocol, I think in the future should be developing when it should be done, how it should be done. Make sure there's no wind blowing to other people, because the last thing we want is a bunch of people that are against this because they have to take it out.
yeah,
Right, we want to be positive about it, we want to educate people, but we don't want to offend people or get them on the wrong side. Because all of a sudden, all that came over to me, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah,
I know it's hard to
Winds
do.
always too.
There's days when it's calm, you know, there's days when it's.
can't believe, oh, all right.
But,
So I was part of that.
Right.
Ranking thing, so, and it's hard to do,
Yes.
it's one thing, especially if the water's, you know,
Deep.
deeper than. And I tried a couple times and, you know, I got some of the weeds out, but the problem is, if you break it out of there, they float.
right,
And they're gonna, it's harder to collect it than it is to cut it. So
Did you have a special rate, right?
I did, yeah, Greg Stryker had a whole bunch of different rakes that I tried
Bring
and.
the knife break.
Yeah. that's one of my neighbors.
That's what we had too.
He was throwing it about 10 feet.
And then go back and back, and then, you know, the.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
8 feet deep, you can't just stand there and throw the lake, you can't stand there and rake it by hand, you gotta put a long line on it. Throw it out,
We did it from.
and then try to pull it in,
yeah.
At the town beach.
and half the time it gets caught on the roof, you know.
So I tried that rake and it was hard to do, I didn't like it, so a couple other things I tried was going out there with, you know, mask on, a snorkel. And I got a regular rake and I brought it down into the weeds, I twist the weeds and pull them out that way. Seemed to work better and easier to collect.
Right,
So,
And-
but the problem. Nobody ever got back to me as far as how it did, what's going on, you know, did you stop when you're supposed to stop, you know, there was no communications. On that at
Should
all.
be probably.
If you ever wanna do that again, I have a powered snorkel all set up. So you plug it in, it's an air pump and I have hoses and a.
Really?
And a
Oh,
mouthpiece,
maybe
yeah,
next year.
yeah,
Yeah.
Have a business renting that out next year.
well, you know.
All of this might be part of developing the protocol.
That
This is a method that's acceptable.
Well, I.
Do not do this.
Yeah,
do not-
very
Yeah, but I mean, if people wanna try, like what you were doing, which is by hand down in deep water, then there needs to be a way to do it, and.
Cause I think all the weeds are kind of in, one stretch.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
same amount of depth.
in the.
They're moving.
It has a
And we can.
They're
hose, and it has a tank, and I have two regulars.
Yeah.
So two people could go out,
They did it earlier.
yeah, it's pretty neat,
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
yeah.
But I think, like, you said you were pulling them out. Pulling them out is pretty tough.
It
It's
is.
not an easy task.
No,
And when you have, a couple hundred square feet of area, you're not gonna be able to pull it. You're gonna end up doing with the
They
link.
mostly break.
You're cutting, yeah,
They mostly break when you pull that up.
right,
You're
right,
not
right.
getting the.
And I'm wondering, some of my areas that I just cut, there's a little
Yes.
sickle thing, and I was curious to see how that, if it would die or if it would grow back. I did it really early. And it didn't grow back, you know what I mean? And all I did was run a little hand sickle, run across the bottom of the, basically like this. Took out a whole swath of it, and I've been watching it. Hasn't grown back. I did it in early July. You know what I mean? Because I was worried, you cut it low,
good.
does it spring up like a,
Like a
leaf?
plant, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, because I don't think people are gonna be able to know, they were hard, that's when they're fairly new.
See, but this feedback is whoever just said, we need to
Yeah.
get this feedback and over the winter develop
Right.
this protocol. Because I think we're gonna see more and more, people wanting to do something.
Yeah. Right.
And I think
Just
so.
do it themselves, anytime.
Yes.
I would change that.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, alright. We're good, so back up, top fishing, anything?
No.
Yeah.
Hold it.
Oh,
Somebody did the survey, right?
Oh, Connecticut Deep,
I said, are we gonna get the?
I sent an email, Chris McDowell, who is the head who develops the reports, is out until August 18th, and I don't know why, I'm just getting an email response. So I finally sent an email to his assistant asking when we're gonna get the report, I have yet to hear back. So, once I hear back, I'll let you know.
That's the survey from last
The
year.
electoral
Electric.
fishing mass
Last-
survey,
No,
Yeah.
this year.
Oh, from this year.
it was done in May.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did one last November, and then they came back and did one in May. Let me just check. No, nothing yet.
See, well, CLA can send that out, get the report, yeah.
access, safety and regulations. You'll, report here. Working patrol status,
And I included last month too. I'm sure, I would think I have to. There's included both. But I think, the July report was more what we were looking for than the June report. I think June report was put together by the record, the July report. was put
Brian,
together by the-
yeah, Jake said Brian was gonna do it.
right?
That's emerged more and turned into a. Quite a drama, did that get sorted out?
I didn't hear the outcome of that.
Capsize best one, you mean?
That was,
Oh, which one's that?
Walter,
There
Walter
was a
and Olga's.
mooring that endangered the boats.
Well,
See?
No.
somebody,
It was a morning that.
We got the bottom.
Over close to the camp. And he was.
no, this,
Not that one?
no, this
Oh.
was in front of Walt Olga's house. And Rob Goodwin ran into it, or he reported that he ran into it. And then somebody else apparently came along and cut it. cut the line, we sent the Marine Patrol over to look for it, and they couldn't find it.
That's what I heard.
And then Walter showed up on our doorstep, said, do you know anything about this? And I said, yeah, I know that Rob Goodwin, wrote to the CLA and said, I did the submerged mooring, and he said it wasn't submerged, and now I don't have the mooring anymore, and I'd like to get it back, so. And I said, well, go talk to Rob Goodwin, because he's the one who hit it. I have no idea what else to do with it.
Well, I did see it at Walter's house, he's got 2 balls in one spot, so maybe he got the ball.
I haven't
No, they're
seen
tied
it,
together.
I don't know, he was
I'm
not.
sure he
he was
didn't
all
get the
upset about it.
submerged mooring back because that's gone, but he might have got the ball back.
Yeah, he claims it wasn't submerged, he claims that.
No, I mean, the cement or whatever is holding it.
Oh, the-
You know.
That
That guy.
Yeah, I have no idea.
He also claimed it was 60 feet, not 100 feet.
Anyway, there's a little bit of a drama around that. I just don't know the truth.
About 3 weeks ago, I, pulled my boat out for the maintenance work done. And, the assistant rec director, I forget her name.
Galley.
The ones that were assigned her name.
Yeah.
Was able to open the gate for me, but she really didn't inspect the boat as I was taking it out.
Do you normally do inspection when you take it out?
You're supposed to inspect going in and going out, in case we have something on our bunks or trailers, whatever, that we don't wanna put in some other lake. That's supposed to be the protocol, I think.
Going
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
It's nuts and.
I mean, that's what they do in like New Hampshire, there.
What would you do if you had a weed on your lake going out? You say, okay, I'll clean
No, I think he's talking the trail.
It's more for information.
it. FYI,
Yeah,
you have some weeds on there?
It's in
you
the.
take it home and
Is
you
it? Yeah.
get rid of it before you take it to another lake.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll make
So,
sure.
I mean, maybe that should be included as bonus. Yeah, well, which is fine, okay. So going back, 5 days later, my boat was repaired, I took it back. And, the lifeguard, there was a jet ski in front of me, getting ready to put a jet ski in. So one of the lifeguards opened the gate, let the jet ski in and let me in. So I put my boat in, I came back and said, why didn't you inspect the boat? He said, well, I'm not trained to do any inspection.
So I think that was addressed by Marine Patrol.
I was gonna say that, it was addressed by, because later I went back, and Marine Patrol was out on the water. So when I came back, I told them, and they went down, and I think they straightened it up.
So what do they should have
They should have contacted Marine Patrol and said, hey, you got some.
I thought we would have came in.
This was Friday at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning. I don't see a need for 2 Marine Patrol people on the lake at 10 o'clock on a Friday.
There's no Marine Patrol.
They're not on the lake federally.
Well, 11 o'clock. sorry. I'm sorry.
Or is it Saturday?
Three.
Cause then they listen to later.
And on Saturday, there's 2 people on the boat, that's right. I said, that's what Saturday, there were 2 people on the boat.
Oh.
So what the lifeguard that they were supposed to do is call them and they'll
Yeah,
come.
and they come back.
Yeah.
It's only a minute away.
But on weekdays before they can come on, it's Jake or.
Jake or Cal.
Right,
Right.
right. Yeah, I was surprised that the lifeguard just opened the gate. I didn't think they'd have keys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe the rec person wasn't there for some reason, I gave them the keys, but.
No, I didn't get the details.
Yeah.
I just heard
Might
Marine
be
Patrol
able to track
education.
the source.
Not do that.
Yeah.
Alright. Watershed management plan.
Do you wanna talk about it here under, it's also under open business to update?
You can talk about it now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much to report, you charged me like with
Yes.
starting to put a group together,
Mm-hmm.
they did reach out to Chip. And he said he'd be happy to, meet with me. To
Great.
talk about, how to approach the update, I do think, this might have been a term that you used, Mary, that we need to kind of put a task group together, because it's gonna be a lot of work. And as you all know, it was a very, very thoughtfully developed plan that was put together. And Anyway, I just haven't set a time yet to meet with Jeff. He said he's busy during the weekend would be best, so hopefully this weekend I can meet with him and. Come back to you guys with a.
Do it within the next 2 weeks because he's going to Florida.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's going to Florida, so I'll try to catch him this weekend and start to make some suggestions for putting a group together to work on this.
Great.
And anyone here that would like to participate in feel free to let me know.
All right, great. Any volunteers? All right.
I didn't bring my notes from the last meeting.
Volunteer people.
Somebody here actually did volunteer the last time. I didn't do it. You probably volunteered me. Oh, very good.
You're
I don't recall.
Greg. You, gonna lead the subcommittee with Greg.
Okay, thank you. And you're good. Well,
So. Writing up here, actually, that was, you know. Yeah. That's not your doodles, I do actually take notes. Cause I can't remember anything, so I might as well take it down. There's a recommendation from Bob, you know.
welcome to my world. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Alright, alright, so you'll coordinate with Greg and then Chick as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Stormwater runoff infrastructure.
Do you wanna talk about sewer Johnny here, or? I guess you. Relative to the stormwater drain that had high levels of E. coli. Eastern Highlands conducted, and Mark, I think you were a part of this, last week, early this week. A review of all the pipes that they could open or access. I sent the email this evening, so I'm not sure if any of you had a chance to.
Find a copy, I did want to see.
But the bottom line, I talked to Rob Miller today, who's the director of Eastern Highlands, is there were no surprises. There was no impression of a human issue. And there's no public health concern. Therefore, we have 2 POs for nearly $10,000 to video that pipe and to measure if it was E. coli in an animal or human. And I think Robbie asked a good question. He said, even if you found that out now, what would we do? I mean, what would we do if it's not visible that it's connected to any sewage or septic system? So, I talked to James at TRC today, and in the next rain event, God knows if it'll rain in the next rain event, in the next couple of weeks. They have an open PO from last year to do 1 more E. coli. So before anybody determines anything, my suggestion is, it's already paid for, do an E. coli again when we get rain. If we see significantly high levels, then there may be an issue that Eastern Highlands might have missed. And Rob agreed to that. That's what Rob suggested that we should be doing. He said, you know, we covered this as best we could. I'm 90% sure that there's no issue. But if you do 1 more rain and we're seeing significantly high levels again, then maybe there should be something more expansive done. So my suggestion would be, based on what Rob has said and what TRC has said, is do the E. coli test. For a couple $100, we'll figure it out.
So they're gonna do it the next rainstorm?
There was supposed to be a follow-up at the next rain, and it never really rained when the season ended. So now we still have that open PO from last
Right.
year we can do.
No, my only concern is that if we, like, say we just had a storm tomorrow, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Most of that's gonna be, the ground's so damn dry.
I know.
It's gonna be surface flow and not coming from where the potential.
Even if you get surface flow, I mean, things are getting.
Yeah, I think we should,
So dry,
you know,
yes.
we might want to hold off on
Yeah.
that until the till the fall when
Yeah.
ground saturated.
Or that, yeah.
You know, I think we'll get a better reading and feel a little more confident about it. Right now, I wouldn't be confident.
I'll alert TRC, they're doing enough next week.
Glenn has been there enough time for sanitarian that he said. The water coming out of 2 houses off Lake Street,
Right,
coming into this low area, the driveway does. We're putting stone on the driveway because it gets mushy.
right,
So there's a lot of surface water in that whole area
right,
heading into this drainage system they have to
right,
capture. So it does work.
yeah, no, he was very comfortable with it and how he described it, so. And TRC was okay with it, I mean, you know, they're not gonna tell us to spend our money unless they really feel something's there.
So you're gonna ask them to hold off till fall?
But-
Till the big rain?
Better ground saturation.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
I will tell TRC that, they're coming out next week, before next week.
Okay. Anything else on stormwater? Okay. Budget review, how we doing? You fine? We're fine. Okay.
Thank you.
That'll work. The TRC update, I guess, that's an open business, but I feel like. You can probably take that off, I mean, it's,
You wanna take it off?
yeah, we can take that off because TRC is all over the scene anyway.
Yeah, it's
Really
really.
say more on the budget, POs have been cut in TRC.
Right, the POs were
Yeah.
cut,
Okay,
the
POs
budget
cut,
was accepted.
everything's
Everybody
locked
got it.
in
yep.
That goes to who, Mark, excuse me,
till the next.
next fiscal year,
Next fiscal year till.
Yeah.
It ends June 3rd.
okay.
Alright. Peace mitigation with task force,
Did you skip over Richard Law?
Yeah.
we already talked,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why I drew the mention, because we have this early detection,
Wanna remove it?
I would suggest that goes under the early detection rapid response.
Okay.
what's that?
Hydro prevention.
Hydros is one thing to look.
Oh, I see, yeah.
That helped if we.
Yeah, it should be under there,
Like mighty.
Okay, that works,
okay.
but, well, Greg is not here, so.
I can
Yeah, you wanna, yeah,
Yeah, so, the past week or so, we've seen almost zero, we've had 5 or 6 needs that are hanging in there, but the 30 or 40 that we've seen seem to have food. Mary sent out some great information as to why they're doing that, and it has to do with them. Once the babies got flying, they started doing this pond jump thing, right, where they go visit other ponds to see if they like it better. And we've kind of been making it through everything we've been doing uncomfortable for them, so hopefully they'll find a better place they like and not get that. So we're gonna continue to chase them because the geese that are somewhere else are gonna come here.
right,
So we'll be chasing them, and the 6 that are around now, we'll be chasing them as well out.
alright, good.
So they finished
good.
molting?
Yeah, they should be, they should.
There were 6 this morning, 6 of
Yeah, I
us.
saw those, yeah. Actually, went around earlier this morning, I didn't see any, and then I saw the 6 over by it.
Men's at Texas.
Yeah.
I got busy,
Yeah.
just FYI, Coventry Lake, I'm talking to Rob Miller, the Eastern Highlands guy who lives on Coventry Lake. Closed the Patriots Beach, now I'm not familiar with
Yeah.
Coventry, you may know it. And it's been closed for 4 weeks. Due to E. coli that they believe is from all the geese, they have 60 to 75 on that particular beach.
Maybe it was Coventry that blamed us for something.
So Mike, you, unfortunately, you and Greg weren't at the CLA annual meeting last week, but you guys got a ground flaws for your. We included, we, over the course of the summer, we talked about the house.
We pass along, thanks to
Yeah.
Greg as well, for both of you, that's awesome, yeah, so please, let's keep this. It's working, yeah, now we just don't want other lakes to find out.
And now they're saying.
Yeah. So,
Well, it's better than putting the dogs on the property and
Yeah.
people getting upset.
yeah,
Oh, that was.
So that's working beautifully.
Yeah. Fallen tree protocol.
I know,
You skip one.
Yeah,
What?
Management.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Moorings and rafts.
yeah, management review on moorings and raft.
That's Henry's
Yeah.
item, yeah. Should wait for Henry.
Yeah, we'll pass that off to.
Got table until.
I must have thought that, you know.
yeah, the wasn't here, yeah,
Just,
just keep on going, yeah.
One tree.
fallen tree protocol.
I just know from Public Works that it's very hard, once a tree is on the lake,
Yep.
to get it off.
Yes.
It's much easier to remove a tree properly on land
Yep.
when it's dead or dying or in trouble. But to wait till it falls in the lake because Public Works will clean it up is not a good tradition. And I don't know if that happens, but I get the call. Trees on the lake, it's your problem now.
Wait, with the drawdown. Technically, you're not in the water.
Yeah, but you still can.
The issue is not necessarily going out there with a chainsaw and cutting it up.
Okay,
The issue is then what do you do when you have all these pieces? How do you get it out? For instance, like the ones that's over, over near me there, there's a monster tree that's in the lake, right? Is it still there?
And we've got
And
to
you need, well, that's if you couldn't even,
get
we couldn't even get to it. I mean, that would be a big crane to try to get to it.
so what about Dara Stevens, property?
Herdenic Road.
That fell just before the lake filled up. She spoke with DPW and they couldn't get anyone out there. And I understood they were gonna wait until the drawdown.
Right,
So that will be removed or it won't be removed?
we're still trying to figure out how to do
Okay.
it. It becomes a real problem when it's.
Oh, I
on the lake.
understand that.
That's my only point.
Yeah, well, it's how do you get equipment to it
Yeah.
Right.
to then
The
transport.
problem,
Yeah.
can you use equipment, like?
No, the problem is,
Yes,
normally we don't
access.
drive equipment onto the lake.
Normally,
No.
No,
but will you do that?
But if it's too big a tree, you're not hand carrying it all
No,
out.
okay, I'm sorry, but.
Right,
Yeah, but the problem is you can't get a crane on
Herdenic Road you can.
they're going
it, if you shut down the road.
I took a tree out
probably the.
down by the lake and the crane in my front yard.
Yeah.
Boomed the whole thing over. It was incredible.
right, there are two companies that have mobile cranes that
Yeah.
are very.
$1,500 a day for a crane, you know,
How much?
1,500.
Yeah,
On a good day.
That's it, that's-
That's actually crane.
That's what mine
That's all they charge you?
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
including the mobile tree.
was. No, that was just crane.
Right,
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's what.
No, they didn't get a crane to that one. That was. It's
Yeah.
20 feet from the road.
so I just wanna try to change the thought pattern of the lake, that. Don't wait for the tree to die and fall in the lake, cause
Oh, of
DPW
course.
will then take care of it.
Yeah.
What are you doing with that one with Vera?
Oh, thank God.
We asked Vera to, we said we can't touch that tree because it's laying on your power panel.
Yeah,
We're not going anywhere near. And as soon as you build a house power, hire someone to cut up the land part. We'll then come back and take care of the part of the land.
How would you get to that?
So she had.
Shit, and most of the trees on land.
yeah,
It's just the top of the tree that's on the land.
So it's small enough to go in there, fit there,
it's
but
a big
It's a
tree,
big tree, so
Really, Vera did that?
yeah,
no,
really?
most of the tree is on her dock and on the power.
right.
dock.
Careful, right?
So we're not touching it until.
So, me and my property fell into the lake. Public Works took care of it. They came over with the John boat that they have. They cut pieces up and they towed it back to the beach and then used a backhoe to lift it out and put it onto a dump truck.
And we've done it in the past, other
If it all
logs,
floats.
other logs that float, we've towed them to where we can get equipment and gravel. So that is another option.
Yeah, that's not a very efficient way.
I can drag it along the shore and pull up some weeds.
And make sure-
Well, I mean, that's an interesting thought is that, you know, maybe for those trees that are legitimately on the lake, I mean, if you cut them into floatable logs, I mean, when the water comes back up, then move them.
But ideally, if a tree can be removed
Yeah.
by land, That's what we want as the normal protocol.
I agree, I'm not contesting, I'm just saying, some of them are in fairly remote places
Areas,
where you're not getting, you know, what is it, wells, you're not getting a crane, where you're gonna stick it up out of the trees, you know, I mean, you're not gonna get a crane in there to.
Problem is that people think that, well, let it fall in the lake, then it's their
It's a
responsibility.
DPW, that's what I want to change.
Right, no, you know,
Fair enough.
yeah, I can get it, it's
Yeah.
just, how do you
We
change that?
made a protocol.
So the way the insurance companies work on this, wherever the tree lands, it's that person's responsibility to get rid of it. So if my tree falls on my neighbor's property, his insurance company takes care of it. All the insurance companies are in agreement with this. It's
That's true.
Oh, so, oh, it's on the line,
yeah.
it's just, it's that wherever it lands,
Yeah.
that person takes care of it. But if my neighbor has a tree that looks dead and looks like it's gonna fall on my property, I can notify him.
Written notice,
Then written notice, then it becomes his responsibility, even though it might fall on my property.
and that's what my neighbor, he came over and said, Mark, your dead tree, the branches are gonna land on my car.
Right.
And I, boom, I hired someone to go right.
And even if you don't, if it does, then you're
Yeah,
liable.
I'm lying, cause he's now.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
So
you
does,
don't know.
so
Yeah.
does the town develop some kind of a letter or notification to every single lakefront person saying, if you have dead trees, you know, you should take them down, not wait for them to fall in the lake. I don't know, I'm just trying to,
Yeah, we're just
some kind of
trying to figure
program.
out how to get this crystal clear to the rest of
That's
us.
hard, you know, the layman,
town
how does the layman know?
The town needs to,
They can play.
the town needs to.
Yeah.
Present a policy.
Yeah.
Are you all set?
Yeah.
Okay, so. Can the town type up a statement? And put it out on the website, put a notice through the notification systems? Put it in the.
And actually,
in
it's
the-
probably a policy that
the
is town.
PLA.
Not,
I know, I get it, but I'm just saying that, you know. There are a number of avenues of communication that the town needs to make a statement.
Well, more of an education.
Well,
Yeah.
well, couldn't that letter state that if you think a tree is dead, you know what I mean, and could fall on property, you know what I mean? Notify us beforehand, and we'll, cause then you could work with them on how to make sure, you know,
Take it down.
you know what I mean, how to take it down. It doesn't mean the town's gonna pay for it, but it does mean you might be able to, you know, especially if it's a big tree. I mean, and it's cut, maybe you could help them just pick them up and
There, isn't there a tree working town?
yes, it's a public.
Little ride around the lake, you know, looking at all the trees wouldn't be a bad idea.
There's quite a few of them ready to fall in the lake.
Yeah.
And I don't think people have much of an appetite, given how much it costs to remove a tree to take them out.
Especially it's down by the.
Then there's that.
Well, and, you know,
We paid we paid to have our neighbors take a couple of big trees down. We paid for it, cause if they felt they were gonna fall on our house.
Harmon and Jane
For that.
did the right thing. They had a tree that was endangering,
Oh, yeah,
and they
I saw that.
paid and took it out.
Well, they have Tom and Jen have a second tree as well, that we talked to them about, and they decided to take it down for that reason. So
Before,
it's gonna be happening within the next couple weeks.
because,
Thank you.
Yeah, but.
and that's ideally what we'd like.
Yeah.
Don't wait till it falls.
So what they did is we brought it to their attention, if their tree falls, it's gonna take out our, you know, our boats and stuff and. And damage the fence and damage the stone wall. So they got an arborist out there, they looked at the tree, says, yep, this thing's gotta come down, they agreed to take it down, they're scheduled to take it down, so. That's just perfect world, but
Right.
it does happen.
Doesn't always work
Yeah.
that.
It doesn't always work that way. You know, maybe we can expand your geese patrol to tree patrol as well.
Well, that's great, add
Two
it.
patches.
I like it. Because when we drive around the lake, we don't know who's property.
It's back.
You guys know all the properties.
About a minute then.
You want to put the minutes, yeah, we're gonna expand this patrol.
Yeah, you get two patches and two houses.
Wow.
Greg will be so happy.
And we'll provide them with a chainsaw.
See what happens. Well, what you need is a microburst like I had, so when it comes across the lake, it lifts the tree up and throws it on your house. So then you're just on the lake.
That's not good.
Alright, so anything else here?
No, so I guess I adding number 8 to my agenda.
You're doing well tonight.
Yeah. LMAC duties and responsibilities.
This, with the upcoming, we all have to, anyhow, but this started with Carl Foster how long ago, and we still haven't really put together anything relative to mission duties and responsibilities. I think I said I'd take that on, and I haven't done a thing with it. I do have Carl's from 2018, 2017.
Yeah, can you circulate that?
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe we should have discussed it because we're all up for, well, not reelection, what do you call it?
Reappointment.
Reappointment, thank you.
Would the narrative or mission statement or anything part of this thing too? The P O C D,
Could be,
or do you pull some of that in?
Yeah. yeah,
I'm trying to double, it's just, I get.
no, I hear you, no. We already have a draft. We just, when Carl resigned, it just sat, so. Okay.
Take a look at it.
Maybe we could give you some feedback on it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a collective thing, it really.
We'll review it
needs
at
to
the
be-
next meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank God.
and there's some more, this is something we need to pursue, but it's not as urgent as some other items, but it's certainly overall it needs some attention. Okay, I'm sorry, watershed management plan, so you're gonna take care of that, you and Greg. Early detection, rapid response, is there more on that?
No,
No, okay. So we can, and we'll put the hydrilla into that as well.
And sorry, Mary, where did we now know what we're doing about that? I know you said you got some good information from Yampton.
yeah, I reached out to them again because the PowerPoint that I have, I did it by taking screenshots. So I need to get the actual information from them. So I reached out to them and I haven't heard back from them. And
Are you going to circulate that?
what was that, Aaron?
No, no.
No,
Yeah,
Anston Lake.
Oh, Anston, oh, I didn't hear what you
Emergency
said.
Rapid response.
Oh, yeah, okay,
PowerPoint that they
I
gave
remember.
to during the Connecticut Federation of Lakes. Presentation about, I don't know, 9 months ago, and I only have screenshots of it.
yeah, I didn't hear what Muffy had said, but I understand the.
Yeah, you're supposed to send it to me.
But I think this is actually a fairly urgent, or should be a fairly urgent priority for us, cause if a boat comes in that has hydrilla on it, then we don't have a plan. We're just gonna spin, and we're not gonna know what to do. We are gonna have to act very, very quickly if that happen.
Or
I wonder
just,
how quickly can you detect it?
or just from my experience in East Hampton,
Yeah,
the state boat launches is where you find the first
Yep,
invasive species growth. And all of a sudden it could be the size of this room and it's like, oh my God.
It's at the boat ramp, yeah.
Yeah, and you have to attack it.
Yeah.
Quickly.
But obviously,
Grow
with
some back.
permitting to get, if it's dipquad or whatever.
It's still
it's
a big one.
using,
The
You're not,
quicker
you're
you-
not gonna start doing that immediately, so take
But
time.
what you have to do is really have people know what they're looking for.
Mhm. Yeah.
And, for
erosion
emergency,
detection.
early detection is key. People snorkel the properties and keep an eye out and anything that's odd, take a sample.
So as Mary alluded to, and I think we circulated some of the stuff we just did.
Yeah, you did
I
that.
think,
These are good plants.
Well, that was the ripples that Mary put together with the Connecticut Federation of Lakes that have been pushing a lot of stuff out on hydrilla specifically, but also on other bases. In fact, they had a hydrilla Zoom call tonight, unfortunately, it was conflicted with the Zoom meeting. But when I went to the Connecticut Federation of Lakes annual meetings, they actually had samples of all these invasives in tubs in water, so you could
Oh,
actually
cool.
see what they actually look like, they're out of the plant.
That's pretty
Yeah,
powerful.
it is, so, I think we need a bunch of us around the lake to get trained on this, so. To that point, so we know what we're actually looking for.
Another thing you have to train residents is a lot of these invasive Asian weeds come from fish stores. where you get your beautiful little fish
Yeah.
tank and you get sick of your fish cleaning, and you don't wanna kill the fish, so you dump it off in the lake.
Yeah.
And now you've dumped an Asian invasive plant,
Yeah.
right off your dock. Without knowing.
For sure, for sure.
So it's another way to enter the lake without.
Going through the ramp.
Using a boat launch.
Right. Another,
What's the probability of that? I mean,
well, my turtle, when I was a little boy, ended up in Ohio, because my parents didn't wanna take my back home.
I mean,
I'll roll a tank, I dumped to the stream.
I guess you have to ask yourself, how realistic is this?
It's,
I mean, is it kind
could
of?
happen all that.
There is a permutation that exists, but the question is.
Yeah.
It can be a bird too.
I think what's more likely is somebody goes fishing, and not to poke at fishermen, but somebody goes to Coventry Lake. Or is it Middle Bolton Lake and fishes there early in the morning and then comes over and drops it.
Right.
So early, we know there's hydrilla in that, or the pond, what's that? I can't remember the name. Holbrook Pond. And
Stick about that.
I guess where I'm going, kind of going with this, is the person doing the inspection, even if it's boat patrol, they really gonna know how to looking at a boat hull before it launches.
I think there are.
It's just anything.
It could be anything on.
But I see boats going in there that haven't never been cleaned. You know.
Well, we've also
you look
rejected
around,
boats.
Scum on the bottom and,
Have
you
you?
know,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I live at the boat launch, I see the boats come in every day. But, you know, I mean.
So
you
share.
boats.
I would say
So you share.
anything hanging off a boat or a trailer is, should
That
be
was
let
the
in.
direction.
Right.
That's what they're shopping.
For like years, ago,
Assume it's.
follow up and make sure they're.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause we've had, how many?
And the other thing is that invasive species stamp you're supposed to have from the state, we don't enforce that, do
Well,
EIS.
but I mean, really for the Marine Patrol should be the point on this,
we?
right?
We don't enforce it, is what I'm saying.
Isn't that,
Yeah.
shouldn't that be their primary, I mean, if that's what we're paying them to do.
There was all
The
kinds of
Marine,
problems.
should,
with that.
should,
There
should,
is-
but should the Marine Patrol be the first gate to get through to?
They are.
Well, I see them out running around the lake and, you know, pulling people over because, you know, it's 5 minutes after sunset and they don't have a, you know,
A light on.
their anchor light on or whatever, you know, there just seems to be a lot of activity that I'm seeing on the lake with lake patrol. When I'm also hearing that there's a serious need at the gate. That's my concern.
Well, why aren't they? I was concerned when I heard a lifeguard opening the gate. That scared me. Why aren't either Jake, when he's not there, or Callie, or whoever Callie's replacement is, I understand she's resigned.
She got a job.
Yeah,
And
she
you
put her on a teaching job. But why aren't we executing the protocol as we know the protocol, including if he's on the lake? He should get a phone call to say, come to the gate and unlock the gate.
Right, and those were reiterated, that is the protocol.
Okay,
If you're only a minute away, if someone's at the gate, you need to call them in and say, there's a boat that wants to get in.
the scary part is key fobs or keys. If you've signed up, I hope you're doing the self-inspection.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
the town's.
It does seem like that should be more of a priority.
Yeah, I just wanted to come back to Rob's comment about the stamp, the cloud stamp. The town decided, because it was new and people were confused about it, not to enforce that this season, even though it's a state law. I mean, if you're registering a boat in a Connecticut waterway, you're required to have the stamp, but we were not told that we had to display it. I mean, I have the stamp, it's in my.
The state wasn't even enforcing it though, because they were 3 or 4 weeks behind getting a lot of the stamps out. You know what I mean, so they stopped.
Yeah.
And they overcomplicated.
Yeah.
It was a dumb policy, it should be part of the.
Yeah,
registration.
part of the registration.
Automatically.
Exactly.
It's just.
Here's your registration, here's your species.
Yeah.
Job.
100%.
And everybody pays.
I think it was a revenue battle between Deep and the state.
I think
So Deep said, oh yeah, well, we'll go get our own.
This is where I'm.
I guarantee it was revenue.
Yeah.
And the DOT wasn't sharing the registration revenue for aquatic species standpoint. I know they.
One of the stuff says good intent. What's that?
Probably was a welcome advice for the person.
Wouldn't it be good if you wore your life jacket?
Yes, you know, I
Introduction.
really wouldn't hang over the bow like that.
Yeah.
Or die, but
Makes sense.
if you want.
Alright, new business septic systems and lake health.
That should be under watershed. When, updating the watershed plan.
Right under watershed.
Was, why did you put this here? I was something we talked about.
Well, there was a discussion, we had a discussion about,
How often it was going.
yeah, was there a town, should we have a town?
Yeah.
Ordinance about pumping, the septic systems.
Every 2 years this comes up.
But that,
All Chatham Health District and asked how well that went.
Yeah.
oh, really?
It was a nightmare.
Rob was not an advocate of it.
I lived through
You know, about,
it, it was horrible.
you know.
And the residents revolted.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was a lot of phone calls.
So,
Because not only do you have to hire a septic pump out, but you have to go to the town and get a septic permit, which you pay for. And then the pump out company is supposed to send a health analysis to the town. The town's supposed to add it to the records.
Whoa.
None of that went well.
No, even the pump out guys hated it.
They hated it.
This is my customer, and you're making me rat on them?
They don't wanna fill out.
They don't want to bug storm.
Yep.
And it's you're requiring your pump out companies to fill out an entire checklist of the health of that tank and the leaching fields and everything, report it to the town. Person is paid for that, now they want to see the report. And now that report didn't magically come in time or didn't make it to their land record, and it's an overwhelming task.
so two things.
Okay.
I
so
suggest
they
this-
had just to manage it.
The management is not easy.
So you need to basically hire someone full-time, at least one person to be doing
And
this.
your sanitation. Eastern Island Health District does not, they don't have time to do restaurant inspections, let alone
Never mind.
septic system analysis.
Not to mention, the pump out guys are not ratting out their
And
customers.
they're not great
Not doing
at
it.
sending paperwork to the town.
Well, I would argue that the pumpers aren't qualified to do an accurate
Yeah,
inspection.
serious.
On my septic system.
Exactly.
So.
So could we
That's
take
just-
this and put this under the watershed management plan task force? Because it's a part of the 1998 plan.
Yeah.
Let's just, and then
Okay,
whether or not we choose to do anything, the second thing is, I'm on the septic subcommittee now for the CFA, or CFL, whatever they are. And let's see what they come up with.
I mean, we have a recommendation, but we elected years ago just to make it a recommendation because of all this.
that's true, yeah, that's a great.
Was it
point, is
18
we
months, I
did-
believe?
It's in the plan.
Well, right, but we did make it, we did go through about trying to make it an ordinance, and it was
And
decided that it was to try to attack it from an educational standpoint.
yeah, and working through land use.
And, shaming people mostly.
It'd be better at land use, make sure really accurate records of your septic system, leaching fields exist in every land record.
Yeah.
Not on a napkin handed in by the resident, like, here's where it is.
Yeah,
But all the measurements of exactly where the tank is, and exactly where your leaching fields are.
yeah,
That's,
I mean, the best way to do it is when a septic system is first put in.
Yeah.
To get an as-built.
right,
Require it then, Nobody has any issues with that at that point, the landowner doesn't, the guy installing it doesn't have an issue at that point. I mean, it's down the road. All of a sudden, you're gonna get somebody who may or may not be qualified, he's pumping out these things. I mean, it's a very terrible lawsuit that could happen. The town tries to enforce something because the septic guy said it's a failed system. Oh my God, you're gonna get more lawsuits from residents than you're ever gonna be able to handle the town.
I just don't wanna go through it again.
I know, you imagine you would, but that's why we elected to say, you know what, it's gonna be a recommendation.
I made this, sorry, Mike, just very quick, I made this appointment to the zoning commission. We sold our home in Massachusetts, and in Massachusetts, there's a state law, you can't sell a home without proving that your septic system is up to code. It's illegal.
Up to code or function?
Yeah, no, up to code.
And their code
Up
is,
to code.
We have
And it's the
place
seller's expense.
Up to code, would never be able to sell the average home.
oh, most homes, you're spending another 30,000 rebuilding your septic system, you can't approve it.
We had to, we.
To the capacity.
we
Replace components, that the whole. Wow.
They had to put escrow when they sold the
Yeah, but
house.
guess what, there aren't failing septic systems in Massachusetts.
Fair enough.
Right, they.
Well, either way, it sounds like this should really go under the.
It is part of
Yeah, and we'll tack it there.
And I think, yeah, the educational component's critical.
Yep,
Like that.
okay. The point of sale issue, that's a point of sale angle, that's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where they force you to upgrade your septic.
Or it's the only place where you could do it, you could do it.
And you force
And you
it.
can't pass title unless you,
Well, that's-
you have the.
Yeah,
proof
no,
that your
Just have,
septic system
yes,
is
just have
compliant.
by inspector.
Well, let's not go there, but I'm just saying, yeah.
But imagine, and just think about that, with all our properties around the lake, those little cottages that don't have functioning septic systems,
Not even function, just the new codes.
whatever they have.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with function, they could be functioning great, but it doesn't meet new code, almost, my house is 30 years old, there's probably things that could be, you know. And I have good septic system.
Yeah, but
No, no,
all those little cottages, I mean, you wouldn't be able to sell them, or you.
Cause you
I
couldn't make it
shouldn't
meet.
say that, you'd have to
Put a new system. in.
put a new system in.
But that wouldn't be code either, so.
Yeah, there's no room.
Is your grandfather?
Well, it would have to be an
Systems?
above ground, you
Oh,
know,
that'd be beautiful.
Yeah, but you wouldn't make setbacks, it's
It's new
because
technology.
your grandfather in, so how does the mass do these, did they just say your property is worthless now? Can't do that.
Okay,
that's.
all right,
that's
well,
a lot.
some interesting opportunities there. All right, anything else? No, I think we asked before, it's
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn, we have a second, we have.
I just want to say, this has been, to me, one of the more encouraging of the meetings that I've sat in on the last year. Because you were doing more than talking about permitting and whatnot. You were wrestling with some of the issues and trying to come up with some action on them. And I commend you. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate you coming and you're always welcome.
Come again.
Yeah. You can party with us every.
I second Jimmy's motion.
That was awesome.
Time we adjourn.
All right, we are adjourned, we got a second, all in favor, aye. 8:55. 8:55.
Awesome.
Good night, all.
That's awesome. Good stuff.